So engage quickly. We like to get to the point. So it's this balance between provide context. My voice cracking. All right. Provide context on the one hand, on the one side of the, let's see if I can draw a little seesaw. And then so it's a balancing act between these two things. Providing context so that the reader isn't just thrown into this essay, but also not making it super long so that they're able to get to the point and see your position and see how you're going to communicate that position. So we are going to try to find a good middle ground between these two things, right? So engage, get to the point, provide context. Sometimes those things can be at odds, but they don't always have to be. So your writing style is going to help with this. Your writing style is going to help engage the reader quickly. If you are writing only in very simple, kind of boring sentence structure and with and words and word choices and stuff like that, that's not going to engage your reader very quickly. So writing style goes a long way. Making sure your sentences are complex, that they are structured, but then again, not too complex because you don't want one sentence to go 6 lines. And if over and over again, you keep coming back to this idea of, well, Mr. Crutchfield, it sounds like you're saying, do this, but not too much, because then this can happen, and do this, but not too much, because then that can happen. And you're right. So not just within these two things, but writing itself is a practice of balance and is a practice of figuring out that sweet spot. And what can be difficult is if you are requiring yourself to just instinctively do that right off the bat, that can be exhausting. So instead, it's a learning process, okay? With consistent practice, this will become more and more natural. So anyway, that's just a side note. So writing style is going to do that. I know people have talked a little bit about statistics that can engage, that can help to show that this is an issue that's not just something that you think is an issue. I know that rhetorical questions are also sometimes encouraged. I am fine with them as long as the rhetorical questions are a bit more profound than simply, what would you do if you moved to a different country? You know, I think that these can, because they're easier to write, that people can jump onto these really quickly, right? So this is really important. Statistics can be used, rhetorical questions, anecdotes can be used. Spelling. And there's a lot of different ways that you can go about doing this, okay? So engage quickly is not just a super catchy first line. All right, so I'm happy to answer any questions. I know that's a little bit rambly, but I think that there's some good nuggets in there. I miss you guys a lot, I really do. And I know that this is a really challenging time for you. I know that there's a lot of weirdness to this time. There's a lot of weirdness for me. So just know that I have thought about you a lot, and that I am not just kicking my feet back and saying, oh, cool, no school. I became a teacher because I want to be around you. And so it's really difficult for me to not be able to be around you. So hang in there. Know that I miss you. Know that you are awesome, and feel free to reach out to me whenever you would like, via email, via Remind. We can set up a meeting. We can talk face-to-face, anything like that, because you're great. Bye.